Hey guys, Danielle McCarthy here. I'm really excited to announce that I'm going to be doing a weekly vlog. So every week we're going to be releasing a new one, and it's going to be on a topic of a mental health issue. So whatever we're noticing coming up frequently in the clinic, we'll do a video on it to get that information out to as many people as possible. So in today's video, we're going to get kick-started with a really popular topic at the moment, and that is self-compassion. So I'm going to go over what self-compassion is, why we need it, and 3 tips to help you start cultivating self-compassion in your life today. So first of all, what is self-compassion? So I want to keep it really simple. Basically, self-compassion is showing yourself kindness and love during the good times, but also during the not so good times. So during the ups and the downs. So why do we want to have self-compassion? So there's growing research out there showing its positive link to a range of different mental health concerns, including anxiety, depression, fear of failure, and shame. So we're getting really good results with it in the clinic, and we're using it more and more. Okay, so let's dive straight into it. I want you guys to be able to take away from this video 3 ways you can start implementing self-compassion in your life today. So I've come up with 3 tips that I myself commonly use and I find super powerful. And these are things that you can just walk away after this video and start implementing. So tip number 1 is to develop awareness. I strongly believe, if you've watched much of my content, you'll see I talk a lot about developing awareness, because I truly believe that you can't enact change or make changes in your life if you're not aware of when this stuff is showing up. So we first need to develop awareness of when that negative internal chit chatter is actually showing up in our lives. And then when we have that awareness, when we can be like, oh, there's that critical voice again, then we can actually do something about it, all right? It's really hard to change if you're not aware of what's going on. So we want to start noticing just on a day-to-day basis when that negative internal chit-chat is showing up. If you can start to spot it and be like, okay, there's that critical voice, that's a really good first step. Tip number 2 is treat yourself as you would a loved one. Okay, many of you might have actually heard this thrown around. So the idea around this is that as human beings, we're way better at showing somebody we love, so whether it's a child or a parent or a sister or a brother or your best friend, we're way better at showing them kindness and love than we are ourselves. So when we see them go through a difficult time or a challenge, we have the ability to be empathetic and kind and compassionate. However, often when we go through the same challenges ourselves, we can actually be quite critical of ourselves, and we don't show ourselves that same kindness. So what we want to do is notice, first of all, once we've developed that awareness and we've got that, notice that internal chit-chatter showing up, think to yourself, what would I say to my best friend or my loved one or my child? Would I talk to them the way that my brain's talking to me right now, or would I be more compassionate and loving? See if you can come up with a sentence or 2 what you would say to them, and then we want to see if we can turn that back towards ourselves. So can you show that same kindness that you would a loved one? And tip number 3 is a really important one generally around emotions, and that is to remember that all emotions are normal, okay? As human beings, we feel them all. Anger, sadness, fear are just as normal as happiness. And it's so easy to forget that and strive for the good, comfortable feelings like happiness and joy, and try to avoid and get rid of the unpleasant ones. Unfortunately, this is just not productive, not helpful at all, because actually anger, sadness, and fear are just as normal. And if we can actually just open ourselves up and allow ourselves to experience those normal emotions, they tend to pass a lot faster and they don't tend to be as intense. Okay, so instead of trying to block or avoid painful or uncomfortable emotions, can you just start to normalize them and be like, okay, this is a normal experience given what I'm going through, okay? So they're my 3 tips for showing yourself some self-compassion during difficult times. First, develop awareness. Notice when this actual internal negative chit-chatter is happening. 2, treat yourself as you would a loved one. And 3, remember that all feelings are normal. You're not weird or bizarre for experiencing some of these things. They're just normal human experience. So they're my 3 tips. I hope you found them useful. Make sure you subscribe to my channel to get more useful videos on different mental health concerns. And we'll see you all next week. Bye for now.